Now starting, all attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to the Alertus webinar series. My name is Jamie Underwood, Director of Marketing Communications at Alertus Technologies. Today's session will provide an Alertus Emergency Mass Notification System overview, including a look at one of our new innovative products, the Alertus App. We ask that you please hold all questions to the end of the webinar. However, feel free to type any questions in the chat box during the presentation, and we'll be sure to come back to those during the Q&A at the end of the session. This webinar is being recorded, so please email marketing@alertus.com if you're interested in receiving a recording of today's webinar. I would now like to turn it over to today's webinar presenter, Alertus's National Sales Director, Ryan Oakley.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you very much for joining us this morning to learn more about the Alertus mobile app. And also, if you're new to Alertus, have an overview or go through an overview of the Alertus Solution, value proposition, how we can help your organization more effectively notify those that are in your buildings, facilities, campuses, and under your care. A big area that's we're doing a lot of focus, research, development in is the Alertus mobile app. So I'm excited to show some of the newer features and capabilities, kind of show you how that mobile app can allow you to activate your system, your controls, while you're on the go, which is critical. You might not have an opportunity to sit down in front of a PC during an emergency, or the sooner you can get an all clear out, the better it is, because people can go about their own their daily business and know that the threat is no longer existing. So the sooner you can get that all clear out, that might be issuing it from your mobile phone, either Apple or Android, your tablet, from the field, and getting that message out very efficiently. So to touch on what we're going to cover today, we're going to go through and do a Alertus background, just a brief description of Alertus if you're new to investigating Alertus Solution capabilities, the challenges that we help your organization with, some of the codes and market demand that we're seeing out there that are creating the need for Alertus mass notification solutions, and then a brief introduction to the solution and how we can use existing assets, devices and capabilities that Alertus brings and manufactures to blend that together to provide a full mass notification solution for your facilities. And then we're going to get into the Alertus app and get into a little bit more detailed demonstration of that, and show you how to activate the system here in our demo room using the mobile app. So Alertus Technologies background, we're a pioneer in integrated audio-visual facility alerting for all hazards. We were formed in 2002 after a tornado ripped through the University of Maryland, killing 2 students without warning. The founders were at the university and looked around and decided that there has to be a way to get a very timely message out very quickly and efficiently to those that are threatened by an emergency. At that time, it was the tornado. There was a heightened sense of security with 9/11 just occurring, and then since then, the tragedies of the mass shootings and those kind of things. These are events that need to be notified instantly. We literally have seconds to get that notification out to save lives, and that's what Alertus set out to solve. If you're familiar with us, we're a pioneer in the alert beacon. That was one of the first products that we brought to market, but that's expanded tenfold from there, 100-fold, to include any kind of notification devices on your network, screens, sounders, PA systems, fire alarm systems. So it's really developed into a very comprehensive emergency mass notification system. Because of its comprehensive nature, it's deployed on hundreds of campuses, military bases, large facilities, healthcare institutions. It's even at the U.S. Capitol to do specific alerting needs related to threats that need immediate attention and evacuation. So the system is really applicable to any large, mid-sized campus to be able to notify those affected by an emergency. And we're also headquartered in the D.C. area, so we work very closely with FEMA, a lot of the standards related to common alerting protocol and those things. So how do you issue an emergency notification as part of your organization? If you use Alertus, you can bring a lot of these things together. If not, you're probably looking at these going, well, these are a lot of different capabilities I have to activate. I've got some digital signage, but another organization owns that digital signage. I've got fire alarms, but I need to put somebody that's trained and ready to make an announcement with the right information at each of those fire alarms to do that. Maybe they're networked, but you still have to put somebody on there. High-powered speaker arrays or sirens, you've got another way to activate that. Maybe you have to go to a console. You've got your text and email. You've got to go to a service like partners like ours, like Rave, Everbridge, SendWord Now, any of those to be able to announce that. You've got PA systems, but all those PA systems aren't networked. You've got to then get the right person to make that announcement, maybe on site for that building. So you've got a lot of assets at your disposal, but it's difficult to activate those within seconds or even minutes. A lot of organizations come to us, they have these systems, and if they try to activate all of them, sometimes it takes 40 minutes or an hour. When you got an event like a tornado or an active shooter, you just don't have that amount of time to activate all those devices and capabilities. So Alertus can help you with that. We can bring that together and allow you to activate that very quickly. So here again, this might look a lot like your organization. You've got to send out a text or email. That triggers off the voice calls. You've got an outdoor siren system. You've got to reach out to marketing communications, or maybe you've got a different way to go in and update the website. You've got to make decisions on whether or how to post to social media. When seconds count, all these things take time to activate. Alertus can bring all these together and activate them very, very quickly with a consistent message. So the other challenges that Alertus can help your organization with, if you've got locations with no way to notify, we've got some very cost-effective means that we can install within those facilities to notify those individuals. Namely, our alert beacon works very well. Entryways, congregation areas, high traffic areas, to be able to target notification to those buildings and where your occupants are most located. That's a lot more cost effective than wiring up a PA system or other means to notify the building. So if you've got locations where nowhere to notify, we've got a really strong solution to cost effectively input some of that notification. Also, many times there's desktop PCs there, so we could light up desktop PCs and start to get notification into areas where you currently don't have anything. Buildings not staffed 24/7. I think we all deal with this. Even those that are fortunate to have security or patrol or front desk coverage, it's usually not 24/7. It's usually during working hours, those kind of things. What do you do when no one's at the front desk, when you need to get an announcement over the PA system, over the fire alarm system, over the desktop PCs, and that person's not sitting there? Alertus can activate that remotely, target those locations, and send that message out from anywhere. You'll even see here, we'll show the mobile app. This could be, if you've got the passwords and credentials to activate, this could be you sitting at home, monitoring the situation, getting feedback from those that are on the ground, and issuing those alerts directly from your mobile device. Special needs individuals, this creates a need for both audio and visual alerting. This is in the codes, which I'll touch on a little bit. We need to be able to make sure that no matter what someone's ability is, we can get that message out to them effectively. That means delivering it in many different ways so that different individuals can receive that message, how they communicate. Loud environments, this is huge for corporate industrial manufacturing areas. Each of us have loud areas within our campus, whether it's a cafeteria environment, dining hall area, sports complex, something like that, where loud environments are a challenge to notify people. And when you do your test, sometimes you find those are missed, or people just simply didn't hear the message. Cell phones aren't allowed. Again, if you're a university, maybe teachers ban or create a disincentive for students to have their cell phone on. If you've got labs where you can't take a cell phone in, healthcare where you've got sensitive equipment, where it's just not feasible or you're not able to carry your cell phone. So there's a lot of challenges there. Many organizations rely solely on text messaging or email. If you take away that mobile device, there's a good chance that they're going to miss that message. So Alertus can layer on your notification capabilities so that those individuals aren't missed. And then lastly, difficult reaching visitors and contractors. These are people that might be on your campus for a day, for a week, a month. They might not go through a process where they're registered in a database where you know they're there and you know their contact information. Because Alertus is solely focused on the facility, we're able to notify everybody that's in the building. So if even it's somebody that drifts in for the day that you never expected that were are going to be on your campus, we've got a way to notify them simply by delivering the message to the facility through the different modes that Alertus can control and provide you access to. The next piece, other than demand of a lot of the users, employees of your organization, visitors, customers, there are codes and mandates that are formulating. Higher education is one of the early adopters of mass notification, and really where Alertus has fine-tuned the solution to its highest level that is available to all, and that's because higher education had some of the first incidents, but also has a legal mandate through the Clery Act to notify those individuals very, very quickly and efficiently, where they would potentially be in violation of the Clery Act, which would result in potentially fines and or revocation of federal funding. So universities, that's huge. A lot of the federal funding comes through the federal government to continue to run the labs, research, and those kind of things. So that's very critical, and why higher ed's been very much a leader. The Department of Defense, under the UFC, Unified Facilities Criteria, is required to implement mass notification as well. It's not really a law, but then again, an order from the Secretary of Defense is pretty much a law when you're in the military. So there's guidelines that have been built for the military and government facilities through the UFC. And then lastly, what most of us are impacted by is the NFPA, National Fire Protection Association code book, which governs a lot of what goes into buildings for fire alarms. But within 2010, they added a chapter for mass notification, which provides guidance on deploying mass notification within your buildings. We're seeing varied enforcement and adoption of the different newer regulations and those kind of things, but generally we're seeing that any large high occupancy new buildings are being required to provide a mass notification capability to protect the occupants. So we're seeing code starting to phase in as well. And Americans with Disabilities, ADA, accessibility, that's a big influence on all these different codes, in which case you need to apply the fact that you need to provide multiple audiovisual notifications so that every person in your facility will receive that messaging. So that kind of is an undercurrent to a lot of the codes and how they're being written, is to ensure that everybody is notified. So to bring everything together, Alertus provides a single point of activation. So all of these puzzle pieces, these assets, the outdoor sirens, fire alarm, PA systems, alert beacons, desktop pop-ups, all these things that are out there that you may or may not have access to or implement with Alertus, we're able to provide one single place to activate that. That could be from the Alertus interface, it could be from Alertus Mobile, and then, or if you've got a service in place for text and email, like Everbridge, Rave, SendWord Now, E2 Campus, all those usual suspects. Those are partner of ours that allow you to activate Alertus using your existing process, your existing interfaces that everybody's trained on. So really, the flexibility there to provide that single point of activation speeds your activation. Integrate all notification assets, bring all these things together. Some of these technologies Alertus doesn't provide, but we've got hooks into them to allow you to activate them very efficiently from our user interface. And then lastly, filling in the gaps with innovative alerting endpoints. This is where our alert beacon, our panic buttons, our LED marquees, those kind of things come into play. All your buildings are networked. We can hang these devices off of the network, wired or wireless, if you choose, and provide an alerting endpoint that fills in where you don't have an asset today. This brings together the full Alertus system. You've got the activation capability, which includes mobile activation, automated activation, either ThreatWatcher with our connected to NOAA or other services to provide real-time automated alerting, the API connection, which allows the other text messaging and email services that you may be using today to feed into our system, or vice versa, us to feed information or message over to them. You've got the activation, goes out through the network. It could be wired or wireless. And then you've got all the different devices and assets that we can activate and integrate with. So anything from our alert beacon, LED marquees, to high-powered speaker arrays, so providing a very loud, clear, intelligible message outdoor areas for your outdoor ball fields, parking lots, those kind of things. integration with text-to-speech into your PA systems and fire alarm control interfaces, which if you haven't heard our text-to-speech, you'll hear that during this demo as we activate. VoIP phone integration, cable TV override. The digital signage piece is huge. Your organization probably has any number of digital signage systems, anything from something very sophisticated that was probably installed by a department or maybe university or organization-wide, or it could be that you have a digital signage system that went in with a building, with a different organization. Something as simple even as a digital sign with just a little player, a PC or something like that, we can integrate that into your emergency notification capabilities. Panic buttons are huge for us as well, and our customers. You're able to use hardwired or wireless panic buttons. You'll see a hardwired panic button there. We also have USB capabilities to be able to hang a panic button off of a local PC. Desktop panic button. I think the last webinar we did, and that's kind of a popular one, is panic buttons. So you know, panic buttons is a huge piece for us. And then lastly, the Alertus mobile app, which is where we're going to focus the remainder of the time in the demo here on, so that you can kind of see both the activator app and the receiver app to notify individuals. So as I mentioned, the Alertus app is a mobile phone app that allows authorized users to quickly send emergency alerts to faculty, staff, or personnel via Android or iOS tablets or smartphones. So any of those devices that handle iOS, whether they're connecting through Wi-Fi over the carrier networks, you can push a message to those. This is different than text messaging. It's not actually going through AT&T and Verizon or T-Mobile and all the carriers. So we're going through the data network. So this gives you an alternative means to get the message out to your users. With the pervasiveness of smartphones and how many people are carrying those today, why not be able to activate these devices and take advantage of this notification mode for everybody that's walking around with one? Also, while activating the Alertus app and activating the Alertus system through that app, you'll see congruency between activation between the app and our user interface. One of the things I'll show you is a lot of the information and presets you have available to you while logging into the web interface is also available to you as the mobile user. So you're not losing anything by going to mobile. You're just getting a smoother, easier, more formatted way to activate your system from an Apple or an Android device. So the Alertus activation app is used to launch the alert, and then it's sent to all the users who have the Alertus app installed. The other thing we've had really good success with is an uptake is if your organization has an app that you deploy that has either bus schedules, lunch menus, any number of building maps, any number of things, campus maps, that provide services that are very valuable to your users that are downloading that, almost like the web portal of the 90s and 2000s. The portal for information for a campus a lot of times is going to a mobile app. We can also integrate the Alertus capabilities into that so that just by the virtue of them downloading your organization's mobile app, they're also receiving the ability to receive those mobile pushes that are coming from the Alertus system. So we look to create as many different ways to encourage users to download that app, use it, have it active to receive that messaging. So the Alertus Activation app allows authorized dispatchers to send preset alerts as well as view or cancel active alerts. So you can update an alert, you can pick up a preset, you can issue an all clear. All these things I'll show within the demo directly from your mobile app. You can also customize it so that if you need to provide additional information related to the specific emergency you're sending that out, you've got that right in the palm of your hands. Launching alert activates notification alerts through other integrated products, meaning that you're able to activate the entire Alertus system, all the integrations, everything you've built from your mobile phone. Alertus Activation App Key Features is fully integrated with the Alertus suite of emergency mass notification products. So just as I mentioned, activates everything, just a different form factor and mode for you to notify individuals. Designed to work with any Apple or Android device. Mobile phone alerts can be preset, and display text can be customized, so you can update that on the fly. Mobile phone app dashboards allow authorized dispatchers to easily customize presets as well as view and cancel alerts. And then detailed real-time reports allow those to receive, acknowledge each message and the current status of each client. So you can report on who confirms that message on their mobile devices as well. So here's our activation app, and you'll see this in more detail as we cook along for our demonstration here in our demo room. But you can see, very clean, very straightforward. We wanted to keep it just like our user interface, very easy for our users to, under duress and in the event of an emergency, find the preset they're looking for, activate that, verify that it's going out, excuse me, and then also manage that appropriately, cancel it, and then issue the all clear. So on the other side of things, the Alertus app, this notifies targeted students, faculty, personnel, anybody that has the app or has the app loaded into their smartphone to be activated. App setup is very simple to encourage user adoptions. Users are able to acknowledge the message to confirm receipt of the alert. So the setup piece, you can create the level of security you need. Anything from just knowing the domain to register to, allow security based upon their email address and confirmation, or you can even layer in a PIN code. This gives you all kinds of different options. Users with mobile phones or tablets can instantly receive emergency alerts when activated. It's very easy to install and sign up. The Alertus system app is in the Apple and Android stores, so they can be accessed very easily. And then you can set your signups and controls. Excuse me. So here's the Alertus app. You can see the users can receive the message. You've got a display of the message. You can dismiss that, which also acknowledges and tracks that. The notification history can be brought up as well. So you can see when the last alert was, the history of those, whether they're active or not. And then also, if you're ever in the app and there are no alerts, you'll notice that there are no alerts present. So at this point, I'd like to jump into the demo where we can actually show the user app right next to our user interface, activating our system here in the demo room. So I want to warn everybody, this month is No Shave November, so I've got a little bit of scruff here compared to usual. The Alertus as a team is raising money for cancer survivors, researchers through No Shave November. So that gives you an idea why a little scruffy today. But anyways, I've got the demo room behind me. I've got the Alertus interface brought up in front of me as well. So we've got the activator. This window right here provides a view into exactly what it would look like for your users when you log in on an Apple or Android device. So you can go in, you can view automatically when you're first logged into that device that there are no active messages. If there are active messages that were activated either from your command console or someone else, those active messages will appear there, so you're not redoing or canceling message or interfering with existing messages that have been sent out. If you're the first in here, you've got an incident, you need to get the message out, you've got access to all your presets that you've built. I'm going to go ahead and just do a system test. And I'm going to also, as we're doing that, go through the web interface to show you that a lot of the same information available within your web interface is also available via your mobile app. So I'm going to go ahead and select the same preset, which we did, which was a system test. There's the text. You see the text here as well. That can be modified here. That can be modified here as well. Whenever you hit continue here, you've got the ability to, I'm going to flip between screens a little bit smoother. You've got the ability to see the message, information about that message, which devices are activating, which ones are online, which ones aren't. Again, you'll see here, devices online, which ones aren't. 5 devices here, 5 as well. So there's a lot of congruency to really verify that your message is going out. It's going out to devices and locations you specified. I'm going to go ahead and, instead of sending from the user interface, I'm going to activate from our mobile app here. It gives you a dialog box to confirm. That would actually show up on your mobile phone versus on the PC desktop. And you can see the system's activating. Our desktop's going off. The beacons are going off. All the devices are being activated with this system test LED marquee.
This is a test of the Alertus emergency notification system. No action is needed. In a real emergency,
We've got an active message.
the message will contain a force
You
alert.
can view that.
Alertus demo.
Details, and I'm going to go ahead and stop that message. You can see in the user console.
Notification system. No.
You can see in the user console the message that was going across the bottom had disappeared. So the mobile management is controlling your Alertus system. So there is no real need to log into the web interface unless that was a more convenient way to notify. Also, we all know that whenever you issue a message, you want to issue an all clear. I want to customize this for the actual event. You can again see the details of what we're activating. We're activating those 5 beacons. So we've got all our demo system available to us to activate. I'm going to verify the activation. That will then put the all clear. You can see it coming up here on the web interface. And then that'll put the all clear out to all of the Alertus devices here in the demo room.
All clear. The emergency condition is over. Return to normal activities.
Here's our message again. It will expire in 2 minutes, you can see, but we want to go ahead and cancel that before that.
The emergency condition is over.
Stop
Return
the
to
message.
normal activities. Demo. All clear. The emergency condition is over. Return to normal activities. Demo.
The other way to navigate
All clear.
is
The
your home
emergency
screen.
condition is over. Return to normal activities.
Is your home screen.
Demo.
You can go to presets automatically, pull those presets up. You can bring your settings up, log out, make any changes within the settings, and or you could also navigate using the top bar. So if we're in bomb threat, we need to come back. You're able to use generally accepted mobile scrolling and viewing interface capabilities. So from there, I'll jump back into our correct presentation. Let me see. Bring that back up. So that concludes the demo of the Alertus Mobile. I'd like to turn it over at this point to Jamie to wrap things up and then open up the session for question and answer.
Great, thanks so much, Ryan. We'd now like to open up the floor to any questions you may have. Feel free to use the chat box, and we'll get to as many as we have time for. I see that we've had a couple of questions come in already, so feel free to submit those at your earliest convenience. So Ryan, the first question actually goes back to the discussion of the Alertus system overview, some of the other products that we have on offer, specifically the outdoor notification solution. This particular participant is asking about what is the coverage area for the outdoor notification that Alertus offers. This particular individual says that their campus facility covers 580 acres.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking about that concept, what kind of coverage would they be looking at? What kind of options would be available to them in terms of outdoor notification?
Absolutely. We've got one of the highest quality, most intelligible outdoor notification system to increase your coverage in those outdoor areas. It's really hard with sound to come up with a hard and fast rule of how many speakers, what coverage areas, because there's so many different things that impact that. topography, your buildings blocking sound. It could be, it could be even for distance, some of the wind or, those kind of things. So we often, to kind of estimate coverage, we can engage with you, bring up a Google map of your facility, topography, do kind of a preliminary analysis, understand what are some of your critical areas you need to be able to get clear, concise messaging to outdoors, and really start to fine-tune that, working with you before we even set foot on campus. So we can get an idea from all those digital assets, maps, topography, those kind of things, on what it would take to cover those areas with the Alertus system. From there, we would then, if it looks like that there's a project that you'd like to proceed with, we would then do a on-site assessment to confirm all of our findings digitally to ensure that where we're placing speakers, roof mounts, those kind of things are the best possible placement to notify all key individuals within your campus. So it's really kind of an iterative process that starts with we can get within 90% remotely that we fine-tune once we go on site and have a project that might work for your actual campus.
Great. Now jumping back to the Alertus application specifically, question that's coming in is asking, can the Alertus app and the functionality be purchased as a standalone system, or is there a requirement or a need to actually integrate this with an emergency notification system, like, for example, Everbridge or SendWordNow?
Okay, good question. The text and email services aren't a requirement to run and activate Alertus. You can install Alertus in a standalone fashion, which many of our customers do, to notify facilities, manage their facility notification to their locations. So it's not required that you have a text or email service. That just provides another notification mode. And we integrate with all those major players out there because a lot of our customers, they do have something like that. So yeah, Alertus can run in a standalone mode. And also the way we're set up, when you've implemented an Alertus system, you have access to a lot of the features and capabilities based upon the licensing. That's our enhanced notification service and support contract. So Alertus Mobile, the activation mobile, the receiver app is covered under that ENS contract, which provides updates, continues to enhance that. You've always got access to the latest and greatest in the Google Play and Apple App Store, so that provides that ability to stay current and manage the system if it makes sense to deploy Alertus as a standalone.
Great. Now, does the mobile dispatch application currently work with the most recent versions of iOS and Android operating systems?
Absolutely. In fact, I was talking with our team just to set everything up so we could demo here in the demo room, and they're loading the most recent versions this week. So they're constantly updating for the latest in iOS and Android application OSs.
Great. Now, thinking back to the Alertus system as a whole, the Alertus application device, can the system be integrated with any beacon, or are the alert beacons proprietary to Alertus itself?
Can you repeat that? Is the mobile integrated with the alert beacon? The question?
So I think the question is, can the Alertus system, whether it's the mobile application or other modalities within the Alertus system, can the system as a whole, or can components of the system integrate with outside or external alert beacons, not necessarily an Alertus alert beacon, but maybe an external device, versus something like the alert beacon that's proprietary to Alertus?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Integration is a big part of Alertus's approach to emergency notification. We want to, whether it's an Alertus device, an alert beacon, or something else that you have, a fire alarm, a PA system, or other alerting devices like strobes throughout your campus, we strive to provide a way to activate those either through RSS feeds, common alerting protocol, which is consistent between a lot of the mass notification systems. That's a protocol that was put in place by FEMA under the IPAWS program to provide consistency. We support full CAP integration, and then even some of the systems that maybe you only have a contact closure to activate that. That's basically an on-off switch. So it's the equivalent to pushing a button. We can translate that button push to either a siren or a strobe system that you have in place already. That button push to a box that you check within the activation interface that you can include as part of your presets. So you're activating that tone, that other asset, directly out of Alertus, but it's not actually our product. We just provide that remote activation. And then you layer the mobile app on top of that, and think of activating those non-proprietary devices that you've assembled from other manufacturers from a single point, and that's the real value that Alertus can bring.
Great. Thinking about the Alertus app and the ways that customers may be able to integrate that into an existing Canvas application, maybe something that students are using, that faculty are using. The question that's coming in is asking for a little bit of clarification in terms of whether there's potentially documentation or additional support information on the Alertus portal in terms of how that functionality or how that integration would take place, what steps they would need to take in order to make that possible.
Definitely. I don't believe that it's fully documented on our portal at this time. We've been working with a select number of institutions, customers that were interested in doing this to support that. If you're interested in learning more, definitely call into our support desk. They can get you connected with our team that supports the mobile app and can provide guidance on how to integrate that. Once we have a number more than a handful of campuses that have implemented that, we'll look to document that process so that it can be more smoothly, easily implemented by other organizations that are just by the documentation versus having to call in and work directly with our team of engineers there. So if there is interest there, call into our support and ask to explore that further, and they can get you connected with the right team members here at Alertus.
Great. Now thinking about safety and security, thinking about the actual firewall protection that we might have. So something like the Alertus app, is the app secure? Meaning, can you determine, can you allocate who has certain permissions to access, say, the device where you're actually dispatching the alerts versus just receiving them?
Gotcha. Yeah, you can definitely differentiate who can dispatch versus who's receiving. So there's a separation there. Those that can dispatch, you essentially manage everybody's permissions, ability to dispatch, what they can dispatch from the Alertus console. So, and that is via their login. So they have to have their username and credentials to access that. And then when they log in, it would be just the same as logging into the web console versus into the mobile. They would be able to activate what they've got the authorizations available to activate. So you would need that username and password to activate and get into the mobile app from there.
Now, jumping off of that question, thinking about assigning individuals or groups, are you able to target select groups or individuals to receive a specific message? So if you wanted to, for example, send it to one of your 3 campuses, if you wanted to send it to individuals within a certain location on the campus, is that possible using the Alertus app?
I'd like to say that will be possible very soon. That's the area where we're really putting a lot of development into targeting and targeting smartly with the available information, whether it's the GPS information of those individuals, whether it's grouping information. So that's an area that right now the Alertus app will blast out to all the users, but that's an area that we're fine-tuning and we'll have something announced there very, very soon.
And circling back to how quickly the Alertus system activates an emergency notification or alert, how quickly does the emergency alert reach mobile devices when it's activated?
That's a good question. Our testing, it's generally, I wouldn't want to say instantaneous, but very, very quick. It's a push that goes out through the data network, so you're not going through the cellular networks, which could be jammed up. So it's a very quick bullet of information, but it is also going through, and there's no real way around this, the Apple and Google data centers and servers. So if there's any delays on that point, it may delay the delivery of that message. We've optimized and really over the last 5 6 months to really optimize their system so that we're taking any of those delays or potential bottlenecks out of the delivery. But we are still, somewhat dependent on the internet, the data connection, the Google and Apple servers that manage these push notifications. So just like text messaging, it's not 100% not instantaneous, but it provides another means to get the notification out. So you're layering notification to ensure people get that message in a timely manner and in a way that they're able to receive that message.
Really quickly, I'd like to draw everyone's attention as well to our upcoming Alertus webinars. We will have time for a couple of additional questions, so feel free to get those in as quickly as possible. So looking at the screen, I just wanted to make note of several upcoming webinars that we have. The first coming up in December, we're going to be doing an alert system overview focusing specifically on the alert beacon, which we did speak to a little bit today. In January, we have a really interesting educational session, really doing kind of a deeper dive on some of those codes and mandates, specifically compliance with NFPA 72. We're going to be getting into very specific guidelines and items within that handbook and kind of diving into specifically what you need to do to comply with those, how Alertus can potentially help you in that regard. And then in February, we're going to go back to some of the best practices in really taking a close look at your emergency preparedness plan, what you need to be doing in terms of reviewing, updating, and testing that plan to make sure that it's working to full capacity. If you'd like additional information on any of these webinars, you can go to our website at www.alertus.com/Alertus webinar series. Again, just a reminder, we are recording this webinar, so if you'd like to receive a link to that recording, just send us an email at marketing@alertus.com. And then we, of course, have additional information available on our website. And we're more than happy to answer additional questions that you may have or talk to you further about what solutions you may be looking to set up for your particular organization. So it looks like we've covered just about all of the questions at this point. We do have a couple that we'll, of course, be following up with folks to provide some additional information. Again, feel free to email us at marketing@alertus.com if we can answer anything specific for you. We'd like to thank you all for joining us for the webinar today, and have a great afternoon. Thanks.